Hey there, happy Sunday. I know it's Sunday afternoon. You all are out enjoying an amazing day. You see my tree in the background. It's Christmas time. It's beautiful, right? Anyway, and I have my Life Wide Awake shirt on. All right, so I wanted to drop in for just a few minutes and let you know about a couple things. If number one, because I talk to my students about this every day. Literally, every day I find a way to incorporate how challenging it is to live in this life. It's amazing. Don't get me wrong. You know I love my awesome sauce, but it's also challenging. So my job as an educator, as their mindfulness educator, is to not sugarcoat anything, to be real, to be loving, connecting, all that stuff, but to be real about challenge is out there. So I want to prepare them to be the most sparkly, bright, successful person that they can be, so they can offer their unique sparkle and gift out into the world. Same thing with you guys here. And in order to do that, we must be prepared to meet challenge. You've got to navigate challenge. Now, challenge can show up in a lot of ways. It can show up that, some content that we're connecting to, some new skill that we're learning. It's really hard. We don't understand. Challenge can show up in a relationship, friction, drama in a family, in a relationship. It could be a health issue for yourself or with anyone you know. Challenge could be, loss of job or transitioning to a new career, being, sidelined by family members. Challenges everywhere. It could be challenging. Maybe you're moving from one side of town to another. The fact is that challenge is all over the place. And ultimately, the way that we connect to our joy, the way that we increase and cultivate our joy and our sparkle in the world is how are we engaging with the challenge that's coming our way. Now, most of us, when we meet challenge, it's, hey, challenge, I'm going to put you over there and I'm going to go, do my thing. Could be shopping, could be, hanging with friends. It could be working out a gazillion hours a day. As long as I don't have to deal with that challenge, I'm just going to run from it and I'm not going to pay attention to it. I don't need to pay attention to that thing right now. But what happens when we ignore the challenge, it snowballs into something greater. Sometimes, challenge shows up in a loss of life with a family member, a friend, someone's navigating tough mental health issues. Challenges is all around us. And we can ignore it. We can say, hey, I'm going to put you over there. I'll deal with you later. And we can forget about it. And it just keeps increasing in terms of the impact that it will have. And it's not a good one. It's a quite negative impact it will have as we ignore it. And we do our thing. We numb out. We just, like I said, we can numb out like the shopping, hanging with friends. We can even numb out in healthy ways, doing our exercise, whatever that is for us. Okay, so what I want you to do is to have a new relationship with challenge. I want you to invite challenge in, as crazy as that sounds, and say to yourself, when you see challenge, that you're like, okay, here's an opportunity for me to practice my sparkle, to practice my greatness, to practice my presence, my love, and my awareness. That will help you refine not only your own self-awareness, it will help you refine your own way of loving and connecting and giving. It will help you gain confidence. It will help you do a lot of things. Not only will it increase your grit factor, I know that's a real popular, term that's being kind of thrown out there a lot, but it will help you increase your grit factor. It will not help you if you ignore it and put it on, the side, the back burner, because it will come back and bite you in that booty big time, and it will hurt. It will hurt big time. It will hurt more than the original challenge was already hurting that you wanted to ignore and go numb out on the other things. You know what? I know you guys are out there numbing out on stuff because I'm talking to a lot of you. And when I get you one-on-one, you share with me that these things are real, they're challenging, but you haven't dealt with it yet. So I created a podcast episode called Turning Your Pain into Your Purpose. Now, it's twofold here. It is real kind of like my personal journey. So there is a lot of I in this, I talk about turning my pain into my purpose. What I do in schools as a mindfulness educator, I've been asked that question a lot. So I wanted to refer people back to that episode so they can understand a little bit about how I came to do this work, why it's so important, what my big why is. But ultimately, in this episode, I want you to be inspired and empowered to see how you can turn and use your challenge into your own purpose. Your purpose doesn't have to be big. It can be small, little, in between. There can be no size. Purpose is just doing on a day-to-day basis what feels good and in alignment with your heart and with your mind. So when I do this work in schools and I work with my students and I'm here with you, I feel in alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing and saying. For you, that's going to be different. Maybe it's similar. I don't know, but we don't know that until we meet the challenge. We learn things, we become successful through challenge. Every business person, sports person, anyone in education knows that we get to success not just by having this natural talent, we don't do anything with it. We've got to fail a lot. And how we fail is meeting that challenge, working through it, being in the experience of it, and getting to the other side. So if you're in challenge, I want to inspire, hopefully you feel empowered to not ignore the challenge, not to numb out by doing shopping or drinking, coffee, alcohol, whatever it is, hanging with friends, exercising to death, whatever the numbing thing you do is. Don't ignore the thing out there. That challenge is there for a reason. You bring the awareness to it, you will get through. You will get through to the other side. And I don't want you to get through it by numbing out all the time. That does nothing for you or anyone else around you. But you get through it being raw and real. You're going to come out with that sparkle, with that glow. I don't know how long it will take you to navigate whatever challenge it is. It may be a day, a month, a year, several years. I'm not really sure. It really depends on the challenge. But I hope you tune in to episode 42 on Mindful Living with Athea Davis and turn your pain into your purpose, because it's possible. You can do it. And that's what I do a lot of times on the podcast show. So if you haven't tuned in yet, make sure you're tuning into all those prior episodes. There's something for everyone, especially for my educators, leaders, and parents out there. All right, I'm loving you, or I love you, voting your victory. Have an amazing day, and I will see you next week. Yeah, I will. So let me know what you think about that podcast episode. DM me, rate and review, leave something in the comments. I would so appreciate it. I am, again, not just a talking head from reading a lot of things, so I love to take in information, but I tell you, going through what I went through in my life, as I explained on that podcast episode 42, was traumatic. I did not know how I was going to get through it. I literally just didn't. I didn't. And I do what I do because I had some transformational experiences taking on the practices of mindfulness, meditation, and yoga. And I hope you give it a listen and take on your challenge in a new way and see that you can use these practices to help you navigate those challenges. They are life-changing, life-saving, life-sparkling. All right, love you all, and I'll see you next week. Mwah.